Dumb SEO Questions, episode 166. Each week we meet to answer the questions asked on the SEO Questions community on Google+. With us today we have Chase Rayner. Chase is an SEO from the East Coast of Australia. So East Coast of the USA, I should say. No, it's West Coast, is it? Yeah, West Coast. Yeah, I'll get it right.
Yeah, the north coast of Antarctica. Sorry.
Sometimes
you're going to say something bad.
Sometimes confused with the south of England. Now, the thing about Chase is he's an SEO, and he can be found at reliablecomputerhelp.com. David Rozam is a copywriter of 30 years standing, an SEO copywriter of 12 years standing. David is a speaker at, I think the last place you spoke was at Brighton SEO, was it, David?
No, it wasn't Brighton SEO. I keep hoping that they will invite me, but most of the time they don't even give me a bloody ticket. But I did speak at, I can't remember the name of it, but it was for education professionals, because they have to get lots and lots of people into their establishments, and that was in Brighton, and it was about 6 weeks ago. Yes, there you go. Does that answer your question?
Okay. Yeah, it does. That does. David lives in the south of England, didn't have far to drive, and you can find David at writingforseo.org. Edwin Jonk is a web host in the Netherlands. He is also proud to call himself an SEO. You can find Edwin at idesthost.nl. So it's idesthost.nl. Duchelle de Leon, prettier than Tim Capper and 10 times as smart. Michelle is an SEO from the Philippines, and doesn't want to give a website right now. Hopefully she will soon. Tim Capper is a conversion rate optimization specialist, and proud to call himself an SEO. Tim can be found at onlineownership.com. All right, we have a few questions tonight. Here's the first one from Rob R, who said, guys, I have a brain twister SEO question for you. My company is a service provider with 50 locations in the UK. Each location has a Google Plus page and a corresponding pin on Google Maps with reviews, branded photos, etc. We also have another website under a different brand name. We use this website to sell the exact same services at a reduced rate for group buy websites such as Groupon. The powers that be want to list this second brand on Google Maps at the same locations as our first brand. I believe it is possible that if we use different phone numbers, brand name, and place the pin in a slightly different location, longitude and latitude. However, my concerns are that we would run the risk of being spotted by competitors and being reported for duplicate listings and risk losing listings for both brands. Also, surely if both locations rank for a search term, both brands would be competing with each other for price. I shared my concerns, but our PPC expert thinks there is a way to do this via PPC AdWords with no risk. I'm due to debate the issue today and would appreciate any advice anyone has in reverse engineering this solution he is proposing so that I can prepare my response. Any ideas? Thanks.
So, if I understand this correctly, the 50 locations already have a business page. What the powers that be want to do is have the brand create business pages with the same location.
Yeah, they want both brands to compete with each other in the local pack. They want 2 spaces in the local pack.
But you see, the thing is, he's already said that the only way that he's going to be able to do that is obviously have a different phone number. The name would be slightly different, and he would have to place the PIN number just like, you know, next to the same one, but ideally it's going to be the same address.
It seems sketchy. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, you know, look, firstly, don't tell me who you are, because I'd be removing all those listings straight away. Yeah, it's against guidelines. You know, all it takes is one person, either in GMB, it takes one algo or one map maker to spot a pattern, and pretty much everything will be taken down. Not just those 50 duplicates, but the original 50s, because the algo will spot them as, you know, be removed there for spam listings. So, yeah, you know, it's massively against guidelines. So I would tell the powers that be that they are off their nuts. It's too, you know, it's way too risky. You've got algos, you've got humans, and one of either or will potentially spot this at a point. If it was a human, the best bet is those 50 duplicates will be removed. If an algo spots it, all 100 will be removed. I wouldn't take the chance.
Yeah.
Because it's the same service, you see. It's too easy. It's too easy to work it out that it's the same thing. It might be a different brand name, but you know, it will be too easy to see the connection.
Yeah, I think if my reading of this question is right, they haven't actually done it yet. They're thinking of doing it.
Yeah,
the powers that be want to list this second brand on Google Maps.
Yeah, his bosses want to do it. He's saying no.
Yeah,
but
and he's right to say no, I think.
I'm saying, you know, tell the bosses that, you know, there is that, you know, it boils down to the end of the day risk. If they can afford to lose that potential traffic over Christmas, you know, take that risk.
But they still have the problem
of
the competing on price with themselves, don't they? So even if they want to make take the risk of upsetting, even if they want to take the risk of upsetting Google, because they don't think it's going to happen, they're still going to have effectively 2 different prices for the same service. And I know that they're pointing them at different groups, but I just think this is such a potential heap of poo that they shouldn't go and do it with barge pole.
Yeah.
The other thing is, I mean, Google's not as smart as we think they are. They're not even as smart as they think they are. But most of their penalties come from dobbers, from people reporting to Google.
No, Jim, this is in maps. Basically, I get it every single day, and it's like, why has my, people asking, why is my page being disabled? And you just search their address, and there's an unclaimed page there, or there's another duplicate that was created 20 years ago for the same thing, same kind of service. It just gets flagged up like daily. I mean, the algos work their way through whatever cities, whatever counties, whatever kind of services, and it just, on a daily basis, why has my page been disabled? Why has my page been disabled? And you just do a quick search, and you find either the same service at the same address. So it happens also with Bob's Plumbing and James's Plumbing. Two different companies. One was sold, new one moved in, but because the original listing wasn't, used, with the name being changed and a new one created, both of them were disabled for possible spam. It's the algos are just, I think it's. Yeah, they've just got to weigh it up.
Yeah, I mean, if they get two listings in the local pack, it means that they push someone else out, and as soon as someone else someone gets pushed out, they're going to go complaining. Tim, is that right? They can complain, report to Google, or not? No? Yes?
Yeah, I mean, we get reports all the time. It's mainly in the very competitive niches like locksmiths and plumbers and things like that. But yeah, if somebody notices something, it'll certainly be reported.
So what are the usual consequences?
All of it being removed.
Yeah. All right, Rob, sorry, Chase, you wanted to add something there. I cut you off.
No, I was just saying, so in other words, don't do it.
Yeah. I think that's pretty well unanimous here. So without further ado, let's move on to the next. This one is a question from Gaia3 Musissimi, and Gaia3 has asked a number of questions of us. He'd like to know how to index his searching list URL in Google. For example, www.domain.com/s/keyword1. How to have this URL indexed by Google. In the SEO Questions community on Google+, this attracted a number of answers, and Chase, you were one of them.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he was referring to ranking a page like high in the search results, or if he's just trying to get just a page indexed overall.
No, I think he's wanting to have an index, in that case your answer is absolutely correct. Fetches Googlebot and tick the box to include in the index. But the thing is, Google doesn't want you to be indexing search results. They specifically advise against it. Is that still their current guideline?
I think so, yeah.
What do you mean by indexing search results, Jim?
Like a search result, like a search of your site, might produce some a page of results. Google doesn't want to index those. They would rather index the original data, the original pages on the site. I mean, it can be quite profitable, particularly if you put a couple of column ads, AdSense column ads either side, but Google just don't like it. All right, let's move on from that, Gayatri. I hope you received the answer you were looking for. Next, Google Analytics goals. I hope we've got someone to answer this one. Leon, Ionis Anastasiou said, hello, well, I'm studying internet marketing at the UCI extension. I have a problem using the goals of Google Analytics. In particular, I have placed the analytics script in one page, and at the same page I have one form with two fields asking for email and a button which, when pressed by the visitor, sends the user to mydomain.com/submit email. I've placed that URL at the custom goals of Google Analytics, but unfortunately it doesn't seem to work. What seems to be the problem, and most of all, do you guys have a solution? Thanks. Anybody? So Dave Elliott said, yeah, go ahead, Chase.
I was just trying to figure out why there's so many hashtags in here.
He's enthusiastic. Nobody at all can answer this one for Ionis?
I could possibly throw something in, but I'm not even sure if it's relevant. A while back, when I was trying to do what appears to be the same thing as Ionis is doing here, I ended up having the guy in the desk next to me in the co-working space, who was a coder, writing me a piece of JavaScript, I think it was, to track clicks. But I don't know how that answers Ionis's question as it stands. So maybe I'm just waffling. and muddying the water.
Yeah, I mean, Dave's given a link to the Raven tools, how to create the specific event tracking code for a contact form. So that's job done. Just fill it in.
Oh, yeah.
And it will create the event tracker for it.
Ah.
All right, we'll have to call this one a loss. Sorry about that, Ionis. Unfortunately, we have no analytics experts on tonight. All right. Here's one from Sandeep Sarawat. It's titled, "Is Google Search Console Data Reliable?" Sandeep said, "Hello everyone. I have an issue on a keyword that I am getting good impressions, but not a single click, while its average position on the Google Search Console data, analytics report, is 6.7.
Well, it could be all sorts of things, couldn't it? Really, you know, what's showing under the link. Is the meta description tag content seductive enough to get people clicking? What are the results above this like? Are they really good fixes? And so good fits, or yes, and this is average. It depends, doesn't it, what average is, how big the variation to come against the average. But you know, and I guess the other question is how long, what period of time is it not getting a single click? Yeah, I think just position 6.7 is insufficient. Oh yes, and 6.7 these days is liable to be several yards below the fold. So there's likely to be something to entice the searcher to click above the fold as well. So yeah, I guess that's about it. Anyone else got anything more sensible than that?
My first thing is 6.7 in analytics or webmaster tools. Without segmenting it, you know, 6.7 could be across the globe. It could be in hundreds of different search results. And basically, when you search for that search term, even if you're looking through it in your webmaster tools or search console and you click on it to see the search results in .com or whatever country TLD you're on, you can go back like 25 pages and think, well, hang on, it said to me I was like average 6.7, but I've found it on position 49. So firstly, to see exactly where that is. And then, as Dave was saying, if you are actually on the first page, it's what is the actual title? You know, what's the title and what's the description? Is it putting people off? Does that page actually fit into the specific search query? And what I mean by that is, you know, if it's a car part and it's somehow ended up in appearing for that specific, people aren't using that search term actually for a specific car part, but there's more information to do with, I don't know, fixing it or driving it, or So what I mean is the search results that Google feels best is not actually related to that search term in the sense that you are positioning that page for. So even if you were position 2 or 3, because your description is telling people that what's on your page is not actually what they're looking for relating to that search term. So firstly, find out where you actually are on that page. 2, is your title and your description working for you on that page? And 3, have a real look at the page and the search query and try and understand, is this actually related to the actual search query in the way that I think it is, or the way Google is returning search results for that search query. You know, so yeah. But your first thing is just find out exactly where you are, because analytics or search console, the average things is just whoa, you know, that's across all country TLDs. You know, you might be position 1, for example, in India, you might be position 1 for that search term in Kazakhstan, and you might be position 1 for that search term in Outer Mongolia, where they don't have like the specific engine part that you're offering. Nobody's going to search for it, but that entire average says, oh, you're 6.7, but actually in your country TLD that you want to actually appear for, you might be position 42. So just double check where that is first.
I'm just reading the thread, but he's not mentioning the date, because at the beginning of November, I think it was the 2nd week, Google Webmaster Tools, the data, the click data was gone, or was a week behind. So maybe that's the issue here. Right, you still got the data for the impressions, but you didn't get the data for the clicks. And since Google Analytics is importing the data from Google's Search Console, maybe it says 0.
Yeah, but still the actual page in Analytics should report the traffic on that page. So to double check whether that is the scenario, take the actual page and check that page in your Analytics.
For referral data, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think this is from the Google Search Console, right?
Well,
This
no,
is not
because you know, if you connect your Search Console into your Analytics, there's that little thing in Analytics called Search Engine Optimization, and you can click on that, and it gives you kind of information based upon what particular page. It gives you it pulls it from Search Console. So if he's looking at that, which is pulled from Search Console, the analysis there is correct. However, what I'm saying is check the actual page itself in the Analytics, and not the search engine optimization section, the actual page traffic itself.
Yeah. No, I fully agree with you, because I'm pretty sure this
So
screenshot is from yeah.
Yeah. So if that is the case, then yeah, it might actually just not be reporting that from there. So yeah, he's got quite a few things to just look at and just see what is the scenario.
Excellent, Tim. And I see Martino Mosna and who else was it that gave answers? Janakai Raman. We thank our forum heroes that answer questions through the week. Let's move on to the next. This is from Bangalore Allahabadi. Bangalore said, hello, SEO guys. I saw a strange problem. When I searched on Google for one URL, say URL 1, Google has a different URL, URL 2 cached. I.e., for example, and he gives a web cache URL. I'm not going to try and read it out. But he said that it shows a different URL in the snapshot. I haven't seen this before. I mean, have you guys seen it? I wonder if he's using 302 redirects. If he's using 302s, it can produce all kinds of results.
Well, without looking at the page, and he doesn't want to share the page, it could be anything.
Yeah, maybe he got his pages indexed as, you know, whatever they were indexed as, and then he changed the page of the URL, or maybe the site structure changed or something.
Yep. We've actually advanced to the next question. Damn it! I clicked the wrong button. All right, now we're back.
Jim,
can we help Bangalore? Yes, Tim.
Where's Giselle gone?
Giselle left. She said you swore too much.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Well, I would fetch Googlebot, because maybe there is a strange redirect that only affects Googlebot. You never know, so I would check that out and see basically what Googlebot gets. So go to your search console and fetch its Googlebot. He didn't try that, did he? Or
I don't think he mentioned it. Let me see.
no, that's the only thing I can come up with.
Yeah. Well, Bangalore, I'm sorry we can't do better for you. All right, let's move to the next. This one is from Ranjit Qatar. Ranjit said, asked a question on on-page and off-site factors influencing RankBrain. Speaking of RankBrain, there was a good article on Moz I read today on RankBrain. Anyway, Ranjit asks, what are the main on-page and off-site factors influencing RankBrain?
Well, seeing as RankBrain is, for want of a better word, semantically based, on-site factors would be using synonyms of your keywords. So that would be giving Google an understanding in different terms about what your product is. So in natural language, including synonyms, plurals, things like that, singulars of your keyword. And offsite would be same again in any of your marketing opportunity, things like that. You would in your marketing stuff that you're pushing out. You would also include naturally in there, in normal speaking, synonyms to do with your product or what you're talking about. You know, plurals, different ways of rephrasing things, as in natural language, because all that RankBrain is doing is just trying to figure out semantically different ways and understanding what a user actually means. So when someone types in, I want what is the telephone number for 402, he kind of gets to understand that he means, you know, either he'll provide you with couple of selections, my nearest O2 store or the O2 Arena in London. It's just about trying to understand users' intent behind a search query. So just use natural language, on page and off page.
Yeah, isn't RankBrain mainly used, Tim, for ranking like longer tail keywords? Because Google's been finding that there's been really specific, long tail searches lately, and that's kind of why they started implementing it.
Yeah, but you see, yeah, but it's all tied in with like understanding a user's what a user actually wants. If you just look at like a short tail keyword, so O2 telephone, okay. Now, obviously, O2 is a mobile phone store, so, and of course you've got O2 arenas and you've got O2 cinemas, and so anyway. But if you look at a short tail query, O2 phone number. In the old days, Google would just provide X amount of information on getting an O2 number or whatever the case may be. Then the person changes the query, O2 phone number near me. Then, because Google is not kind of understanding that query again and not providing the instant kind of maybe the store, or it's providing the O2 arena's phone number, then people will rechange it. And over time, as search results have become more and more and more and more and more, I think they indexed 750 trillion web pages at the last count a couple of months back. As there's more and more competing sites, Google needs people, when they search a short tail keyword, they are not getting what they specifically want. So they're expanding their keywords, especially in the local arena. And this is where you can really see this sort of working in terms of local SEO, is people are more and more expanding. So they'll say pink fluffy elephant shop in my town. So it's just about understanding the user's query to what we want to serve you, and we want to serve you the best possible result. And they're just trying to figure out who wants to see what, when, and where. So it's pretty much like Hummingbird, originally intended, but it's just on steroids. I think.
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable thing to say. That Hummingbird is for polishing existing queries, whereas they say that RankBrain's role is to compile indexes for queries that haven't been made yet using artificial intelligence.
And I assume it's probably then also kind of, obviously I don't know, but I'm assuming it's also looking more and more at structured data. So
I don't think so. It's more of like Hummingbird and RankBrain, both. A really semantic search.
Yeah, I was about to.
But if RankBrain's compiling data, the best source of that data would be structured data on a site.
The only thing is that the take up of structured data is so low that they couldn't use that reliably.
Well, keep in mind that Google also have their own data. For example, about flights.
Yeah.
The weather, and they have they bought that site. I forgot the name. With all structured data in it, where you can find artists and other famous people and places and businesses. And I'm pretty sure they will also use Wikipedia, right?
Yeah,
although it's not marked up, but it's such a huge site. They can probably do something with it.
They do extract it more and more. I mean, just look at hotels where they extract the amenities now into the knowledge panel, but no structured data, recognized structured data. There's nothing for amenities for hotels. They already extract that it's a 4-star or 5-star or 3-star hotel, where there is no recognized schema for the star ratings of hotels. They already extract room prices where there is no frickin' star schema for room prices. So, based upon how a site continuously displays their content, like, so take for example Wikipedia. If it's like a really well recognized company or artist or person, you know, you've got that additional panel down the right hand side where it's always structured in the same way. It's name, like name, company opened, company began, trading, CEO, all that kind of stuff, and that's what being, so it's, what I'm saying is if you've got 20-30 million pages with that contain that same structure down the right hand side, always the same, then Google, I mean, it can't be, it's not rocket science to say, well, this is how it's always structured and I will pull from that because it's always the same way. But yeah, talking about structure, I mean, but you know, Jim, you go back there and you say, oh well, because so few people have, you know, have implemented this. Well, Jesus Christ, I mean, just talking about hotels there for a second, you know, the travel industry determines, like, oh man, I mean, how many queries out there, like, daily, the travel industry, yet Schema hasn't even figured out star ratings, room type, amenities. It's ludicrous. I mean, so for Google to turn around and go, oh well, nobody's implemented it. Well, we turn around and go, well, you fucking haven't given it to us. Do you know what I mean? You know, they're wallies, completely wallies. It's like, hey, use this. Hey, oh, we're only going to give you one piece, and we're not going to give you the rest.
Yes, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Yeah.
Hey?
It makes you wonder, doesn't it?
It's actually, it's freaking amateur hour. I mean, look, I'm not a you know what I mean? I'm not, you know, like some massive coder or whatever. But you've got the world's largest, like, data company out there in the world, and you know, they're relying on, like, booking.com for their amenities, where they had to basically say to booking.com, well, can you provide your amenities in the exact same place every time across your site, and then we'll be able to extract the amenities into the knowledge panel. Why don't you just pull your bloody finger out and say into the structured data, boom, amenities, that's the markup, that's how it's recognized, and that's, you know, then everyone in the world will go woohoo on their sites. Why do you have to go begging to, like, a little freaking OTA and say, please can you put your amenities in the same way so that we can understand it? No, just provide it to the world. Well, everyone will do it. I'm on. It's some days it's amateur hour. Not that I'm having a game or a moan, but it is.
Just be careful, that second ticket to Mountain View might not be forthcoming.
No, that's the local guides, mate. That's the local guides. That one's coming.
they're not evident. I mean, Maps has been the biggest schmozzle known to man for so long. Is it getting any better?
No, mate. Sorry.
It's not. It's not. Well, there goes the ticket to Mountain View.
No, look. Basically, the way I see the whole business pages going, everything like will be in Maps or in the knowledge panel in search results. The business is having everything stripped away out of their control, in that sense, out of their actual Google Plus business page. So don't even think of Google Plus in the sense of the business page. I mean, it's just think of that as the access point to put your data in, make sure your data is correct, and then maybe once a month come back and do something. Because I mean, they're removing images. It's just like everything. It's just being removed. It's stripped back to the core. So it's like, I don't even know what the point is, and like sort of as an afterthought, they thought, oh well, we'll leave the collections in or something. I really, honestly, I don't know. So basically, think as Google Plus now as the kind of way to get into your dashboard. Make sure your dashboard is 100% completed. And if you want to post something once a month, post something once a month, because basically from now, nothing, you can't add images. All that lovely managed images gone, interior, exterior, team, blah, 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 it's all gone. You can't even, you have to go to a second dashboard to go and see if somebody left you a review. I don't know. I don't know. Just honestly, just log in, make sure your details are in there, check back once a month. I think for image-led industries, like hotels or gyms, anything that's got an image, plastic surgeons, you can create the collections, and I think those are really being pushed out there, so that could be of benefit. But in terms of if you're an accountant, mate, log in, make sure your details are correct, and then check back once a month in case anything untoward has been done, mentioned, edited, sent to you. Apart from that, set it and forget it. Just don't even bother.
Does the business have any control over reviews now? Say somebody who's not a client just writes a filthy review, or a competitor writes a filthy review for a site. Is there any recourse?
Okay, I'm saying this with a tongue in my cheek. The tongue in my cheek. You can flag the review. And if it's really blatant, then you can get hold of business support. And if you still don't have any joy, and it is like blatant and nobody's giving you any, then come to the forum, and then we can obviously escalate that for you. So you have kind of 3 options, and 9 times out of 10, by the time you've got to us, you're so pissed off with the world and Google that you've kind of given up hope of ever getting it removed, and then we try and get it removed for you. But same again, I'll give you an example. Same again, today or yesterday, a guy had about 10 or 11 one-star reviews in the space of 30 days, all of them from empty profiles. Now, when I'm saying empty profiles, you must also understand that sometimes an empty profile, they may not necessarily have filled out a Google Plus profile, but that actual account may be very active in other areas, in other Google products. So that's my caveat on that. but literally there were 1-star reviews, nothing left. 2 of them did say bad place or not nice in space of 30 days. Now, unfortunately, the algo should have picked that up straight away. You know, Googlebot should have gone, hey, that's rubbish, bye-bye. But it didn't. Business support then said, no. So they've come to us, and now it's been escalated. And hopefully we can get that fixed. But yes, it's like anything. There are things that aren't perfect.
Okay, well let's move on from question 6 and have a look at question 7. All right, this one is from Christopher Vincent, who has experienced a traffic drop after implementing a 301 redirect. Christopher said, hi everyone, I'm a young professional starting out my career in digital marketing and SEO. I'm still learning, but I've come across an issue I can't figure out and hope someone here can help. I found a page on my site that had a URL slug, that's a WordPress term, that was not optimal for the content on the page. So I decided to change the slug and create a 301 redirect to the new URL. Hypothetically, I changed the URL from /bicycle/red-colored-bike to /bicycle/red-bike. My thinking behind this was that there were several keywords that we were trying to rank for that begin with red bike, like red bike accessories or red bike tune-ups, etc., etc. So I changed the slug and created a 301 redirect from the old URL to the new one. All the research I've read said that 301 redirects transfer about 85–90% of the page authority / link juice of the old URL to the new one. So I thought that that would be an acceptable loss to better increase future long-run ranking and to make it more understandable to the user what the page was about. However, instead of a small 10–15% drop in ranking, 2 days later the page's rankings fell from an average of being ranked 8 to 12 for our targeted keywords to below 50. Then they only kept going down week after week. I saw this drop, freaked out, and changed the URL back to the original, removed the 301 redirect, created another redirect from the new URL back to the old URL in case there were any new links created. It's been a week and a half and I've only seen the rankings get worse. What's happening and what else can I do to fix this? Chris. I'm puffed out.
Yeah, I just read an article about this actually. Ren Fishkin from Moz was just talking about how they did 301 redirect from one of their old posts, and the keyword dropped like significantly. I think it was like 7 positions. As far as getting your rank back up after that happens, I mean, I think you're just gonna have to do it how you did it before by working on the on the SEO, right, Tim?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm sure I also read a test by I'm sure it was Dan Petrovic at Dijon. They ran multiple tests on 301 pages where they all just completely plummeted away because basically they were kind of unrelated. So my first thing here would be, how did like the URL itself? I mean, forget about link juice and page authority. I mean, that to me is just bollocks. My concern when I saw that, well, it wasn't a concern, but this is, So, for example, you went from like red colored bike to red bike, and then like for red bike accessories or red bike tune-ups. The thing was that maybe that URL itself was actually kind of pitch perfect for that space. It matched the content on the page, whereas if we started looking at you know, just a red bike, where you're trying to encapsulate accessories, tune-ups, etc., the actual page didn't support all of those additionals that you were thinking that the red bike URL would encapsulate. Red colored bike is very specific, whereas the red bike probably wouldn't encapsulate all of that. Combined with the fact that there's been these tests now with 301 redirects, and you know, they, you know, the redirected page have actually plummeted. Now that you've changed it all back, I think you just need to wait now for Googlebot to rework out what you've been trying to do. It'll go back to find the red colored bike. It probably maybe need to recrawl that 2 or 3 times to understand that this is back, the content's there, that was there. Right, we're back to normal now, and then potentially, you know, slowly kind of work its way back up. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of a lesson to be learned, that page rank sculpting and all that kind of crap, you know, that stuff from 10 years ago. You know, just be very careful with what you're doing on a page that's already working for you. I would give it another couple of crawls. I mean, if that's a popular page, I would let Googlebot, you know, kind of see what's going on. Maybe do a little bit of you know, a little bit of marketing around that page. Just get the social team to spend a week just, you know, pulling bits from that page. Just getting it out there in terms of getting a bit of people back, traffic coming, you know, just build up a little bit of hype about that page again, just to see if you know what's going on. But if it's back to how it was, in theory, it'll probably take a little bit of time for Googlebot to figure out that it's all back to normal now. Everything's okay. We had a glitch, and now we're back. But yeah, I would maybe just get the social teams to push that out a little bit over the next week or two. Just hey, and red's perfect for Christmas, mate. So it's a perfect time to push that out now. You know. Yeah, I mean, apart from that, don't really have any other ideas for you.
Well, you gave him quite a lot anyway, Tim. Anyone with anything to add?
If it works, don't touch it.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's working, then mess with it. Add to it, never detract from it.
I see Chase just put in the chat, he has to leave us soon, head off to work. What time is it on the west coast of the USA, Chase?
7:40.
7:40. How come we haven't seen you eating your breakfast?
I already ate it.
Okay. All right, let's move on to the next. We're going to have to work twice as harder now, Tim, now that Chase is gone. This is Nabasha Jokic. Nebojsa has asked a number of questions of us, and each time I pronounce his name a little bit better. I've still got a way to go. Nebojsa said, let's say you had an old site with 10K posts and you wanted to upload the content onto a new domain. Is it smart to upload all the posts at once, or is it better to split it into several batches and to upgrade periodically? Is there something like a too many posts per day rule, or should webmasters not worry about such things?
Upload them all at once.
I thought you were going to work.
Yeah,
I
upload
had this tip for this last
make
one.
sure your canonicals are on the other ones, and let Googlebot do its thing. But make sure your canonicals or your redirects are in there.
That's a good point, Tim. Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
All right, let me tweak that, and we can move on to the next. All right. I know that some of our viewers tonight have come from Twitter, so if you guys happen to see that button on your run list to tweet the question, please do. All right, here's one from Niraj Kumar, who's asked a lot of questions of us. He's talking about the importance of search engine results pages positions on queries with a Google site operator query. That's where you replace the HTTPS // with SITE and then the domain, either the root domain or the subdomain, and that will give you the pages that Google has in the index. Anyway, Niraj goes on to say importance of SERP positions of pages with the Google Site Operator. When we search the index pages of a site using Google Site Operator, how many pages, how are the pages ranked on the search engine result page? Is there any criteria? Can we deduce some analytical value with this? Just a thought, can we think that the most valuable or popular page is on top and the next is second? I see Dave Elliott, Federico Sasso gave some good answers here.
Yeah, I believe it's a jumble. The order of which is only known to the inner sanctum of Google.
Yeah. I think about the only thing you can rely on is that if your home page is not number one, generally that's an indication that you're under some sort of penalty, or something is badly wrong with your linking on internal linking on your site. But normally, in a healthy website, the first page is the home page, and it's a toss-up from that point on.
I know I was told some time ago, many years ago, that see, I can do silly voices apart from Tim, that they were in the order that Google spidered them, but I haven't seen any real evidence of that, unless Google is very, very random in its spidering.
Fair enough. Look, I'm going to call this an answer for Niraj, and good to see you again, Niraj. Let's move on to the next. This is on Googlebot and the hosting of PDFs. Vladimir Pandovsky asks, it says, hi, as I'm trying to wine and dine the Googlebot for a client's retail website, I have a dilemma about what solution to use for downloading product PDFs, typically data sheets. Should I link the PDF files hosted by manufacturers' websites, or should I have the PDFs on my client's server? Saving on traffic and storage space is not an issue. And the website is, and he gives a shortened URL to the website. Any opinion, facts, or idea is appreciated. Thanks, Vlad. Well, there can be of value if he was to download. Well, first of all, sitting on the manufacturer's website, there are no earthly use to him whatsoever. All he's doing is linking to them. They lend no value to his site's publication. But if he were to load them to the site and add links to the inside the PDFs, Googlebot will read those links and treat them like any other HTML link. That can be an advantage.
Oh yeah, and one of my biggest bugbears about PDFs on site, apart from obviously links, like Jim just mentioned, my biggest bugbear in life with PDFs is people forgetting to add the properties in. So give it a decent title, you know, what is on that page. Give it a description, because that appears in the search results, rather than those stupid things like, you know, where Google has to kind of guess what it is. And also provide a nice big logo at the top, which is linked back to the specific page that it's relative to, because 9 times out of 10 you open up a PDF, you can't click anywhere. It's great information, but there's nothing on it. Well, where's the site? What? Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's my biggest bugbear about PDFs.
Yep, totally agree.
Well, at least it's not going back to look at a site that has, what was it, 50,000 or something images that someone's just suddenly decided, wouldn't it be a good idea to tag them properly? Yes, it would have been when you started on the site.
Okay, any more on this one for Vladimir? Okay, Vlad, I have, that's been useful too. I'm getting feedback from someone. Here's one from Tony McCreath, Adelaide's leading SEO. Tony said, or asked, where to get reviews. For local businesses, there are well-known review portals like Google and Yelp. But where should a national or international service-based business seek to get reviews? Maybe host your own? Sorry to jump in on Tony's question, but he did say in the question, if I go back to it, he said, P.S. In the new Google Plus, this community is not showing up in my community list. and yet he's a member, and it doesn't show up in his list. Now, guys, if you go to Google Plus and search for SEO, you will not find SEO questions. It appears to be deliberately excluded by Google currently, because SEO news shows up about halfway down, and SEO jobs, another one of our communities, shows up. But SEO questions is nowhere to be seen.
But it should be turning up for him under yours, because he's a moderator, right?
Turning up for Tony?
Yeah. If you go to communities, you have recommended, member, and yours.
Yes, but in his list, it wasn't showing up.
Oh.
And also, what I'm saying is that for the general public, SEO questions does not show up for the search term. When you search Google Plus for SEO questions is not showing up.
No. I know. That's frustrating, isn't it? We mention SEO so many times, and still they don't understand.
Well, I'd say it's been deliberately excluded.
Yeah, I think maybe you're right. Yeah.
I should write and ask them what we have to do. I mean, do we have to get rid of Tim Capper? No.
I believe he's a TC now.
He is a TC. Yes.
Well, he'll be able to sort it out for us.
I do see
Larry.
I do get the SEO news community, but not the SEO questions community.
That's right. Yeah.
SEO jobs is also in there.
If you'd been on the Hangout about 2 minutes ago, you would have heard me saying that.
Oh, sorry, Jim. I'm trying to multitask.
Yeah, I don't think that it's anything organically wrong with our community. I think I even changed the category of all of the posts on our community from Ask an SEO Question to simply SEO. And also directed about 3,000 links with the anchor text SEO towards it. Still not helping.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Tony, will we answer Tony's question? Review sites. What do you guys do when a client says, or when you tell a client he needs reviews? Where do you suggest he focus on? I've been guiding my clients towards Google Plus, but I'm not sure that it's useful anymore. I mean,
yeah, but that's always for local. Tony's thinking more national, international. Well, in the UK, our overriding one in the UK is Trustpilot.
Hmm.
All right, let's move on from Tony's question, because we have about 3 more to do before we put this to bed for another week. Here's an interesting question from Sorab Rawat. Are breadcrumbs a ranking factor for a mobile site? I suppose in that they're part of their internal links for navigation. So I suppose if they increase the number of internal links, they've got to affect the ranking.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it will affect the ranking that much. What I'm thinking more of is are the site links, right? When you search for a business name plus a city name, for example, you have a number of site links. Maybe that will affect which site link is being presented. Maybe that will have an impact, but I wouldn't say breadcrumbs in general have a ranking factor. It does look nicer on the snippets on desktop. Is that similar on mobile, or do we know, Jim, if that's similar on mobile? The snippet?
Sorry, repeat the question, please, Edwin.
With breadcrumbs on desktop, you get a nice snippet, right? You get the home page basically, and then
oh yes,
the next page.
I see what you're saying. On the search engine results page, it looks good. They actually show the breadcrumb.
On mobile too.
Look, I honestly don't know about mobile.
No, me neither. We are so prepared. Let's do a search.
Let's see what someone else says. Yeah, but my guess is that they're probably not that important, but that's no more than an educated guess.
No, indeed, but you are telling it is a structured markup, so you are telling bots how the site is structured. So.
I like Colin Davis's answer on the SEO Questions community on Google+. Colin said, breadcrumbs help users navigate the site and also help pass link equity. In short, having breadcrumbs improves interlinking between site pages, which is beneficial. From an SEO perspective, it gives a positive effect, but I wouldn't go as far as saying that it is a ranking factor.
Yeah, I think that's fair, indeed. On mobile, there's also the nice snippet for breadcrumbs.
Okay. So overall, breadcrumbs are useful for the users too. They give the user a sense of where they are in the site and how they can navigate to other items of interest. So overall, breadcrumbs should be seen as beneficial. And really, if they're a ranking factor for a mobile site or not, is not really the question you should be asking. Or, I mean, that's probably not fair, Sarab. Maybe it's not really should be a concern of yours. But you should still go ahead and put in breadcrumbs for the other benefits, and maybe that they may have a beneficial effect.
Yeah, for indexing and crawling, maybe indeed for internal page rank, but I don't know.
The thing with breadcrumbs,
I started talking and everybody dropped off. We had viewers up to our eyeballs, and they all dropped off when I started talking.
shut up then. Anyway, going back to breadcrumbs, the thing that worries me about breadcrumbs and mobile is just, you know, normally when I'm out and about, I've got decent clothes on and stuff, and the breadcrumbs just get all over the place. You know, if you go in and see a client with breadcrumbs all over you, it just doesn't say the right thing at all.
Well, that's a problem. If breadcrumb doesn't say the right thing.
No, it doesn't. Especially bits of butter as well. If you get those, oh, horrible.
I saw a couple of times breadcrumbs where they basically it was huge, right? Just to put in keywords for that internal page, right? I wouldn't do that either. Just if there's a contact page, just call it contact us. If there's an about page, just call it about us and not your city name or all your neighborhoods that you work in. That's not really necessary.
All right, Sarab Rawat, I hope that's the answer that you're looking for. It's all we have. We've done our best. Sandeep Sarawat asked a question on reverting from HTTPS to HTTP. Sandeep said, hello, I have a website, bizmedia.com, with HTTPS SSL certificates, ranking well, but recently the SSL certificates expired, and I want to continue the site without SSL. BT, I'm not sure what he means. Currently, it's in the index with HTTPS. Now, while searching on Google and click on the link, I am facing some issues. Untrusted connection in Firefox. This is because the SSL certificate expired 2 days ago, but the links in the search engine result pages are all HTTPS links, and so they request HTTPS from the site. The site returns expired certificate, so Firefox is saying don't proceed. And Sandeep is asking, is there any option to redirect my website from HTTPS to HTTP without any problem and de-indexing?
Well, there's an excellent answer from somebody down under. His name is Jim. Renew your certificate. Because it's not only a problem in Firefox, it's also in Chrome and all the other browsers. So.
Yeah. And is it still right now? Did somebody do a search on the site just then?
No, I didn't do that. But you still want to redirect, right?
Well, what I said was to renew the certificate and then canonicalize the pages so that Googlebot will shift the links from HTTPS to HTTP. And I know that will work because we recently did the same with SEO Questions.com. I got tired of people, you know, because I tell people that HTTPS is not beneficial, and so I thought I put a certificate on SEO Questions.com, didn't see any benefit, and then took it off. But to take it off before I took it off, because the pages ended up indexed in Google search as HTTPS and all the other search engines as well, I suppose, because we were 301 redirecting HTTP.
But was that certificate still valid, or because
it was still valid when I canonicalized, and it's since expired. But it was probably, I told you guys when I did it. It was about 2 months ago now, I think, or 3 months ago.
Because I'm not sure what Googlebot would do with an expired certificate, right? Because Googlebot has to see the real canonical in this case. So if Googlebot sees this site and stops crawling, you can still crawl, but you can still proceed in Firefox. But I don't know. I don't know if Googlebot would crawl expired SSL websites or HTTPS.
I'm not sure whether they'd crawl or not, but they'd certainly de-index the pages in the index. They'd give a couple of days grace, because quite often people will let a certificate expire and rush in to renew it. So I suppose it'd give them time to do that. The advice I gave to Sandeep was to renew the certificate, and in our case, I took it off when it was a live certificate with time to run.
Yeah, I think that's that's the best advice, because now people are seeing this. So pay for 1 year and then move to HTTP.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next. What a pity we didn't have viewers. Scared them all away. Christopher C.K. Stull asks, does using a pen name require a change in the Google Search Console? Christopher said, hi guys, I recently started going by a pen name on one of my older sites. I changed the user profile in WordPress, but that's all I've really done. Is there anything else I need to do in Google Search Console, or does it even matter? This is the first time I've had to deal with a name change, so I really have no clue what the proper steps are. Any help is very much appreciated. Thanks.
For Google Webmaster Console or Web Search Console, you don't have to do anything because it is connected to your Google account.
Yeah, and I think that covers that very well. I don't think it needs any more. It's unanimous, isn't it, that nothing needs to be done by Christopher? Okay, moving on to the next. And we've done it again, guys. We've answered all of the questions asked this week on the SEO Questions community on Google+. And just a reminder for people searching for us on Google+, please use the term dumb SEO questions. If you can't find us under SEO questions, you used to be able to find us under SEO, but looks like Google's taken some sort of action to limit us. No doubt that they feel that the rising power of Tim Capper is a threat, and I don't blame them. I'd be scared too. Anyway.
Well,
All right,
did they allow him to be a top contributor? You know, it's their fault. They should have just sent him off to Siberia. like that other lot.
I have no words.
I mean, I answered the top 10 contributors summit. You know, it's a wonder they didn't have people running around Mountain View doing an inventory.
Business sign.
What's that?
Did you hear that? That they've lost a business sign. Google have lost a business sign, a kind of orangey brown one. Oh! There it is.
Like
I
that
heard
one.
about that.
Yeah, it's gone missing.
Anyway, we have our weekly news roundup, and this week we have one news item. It's on the Google quality rating guidelines, and these have gone through a stage of Google not acknowledging their existence, and the release of them initially was from the dark web. That they were leaked by a Google employee, and but now Google is actually talking about them and saying, here are our newest. Reading them, they send me to sleep. I have to admit that I have not read the latest one, the one that Google has given its official stamp to. I did read the earlier one, but the thought of sitting down to read it makes me sort of break out in hives.
I must say I've chickened out as well. What's it, 160 pages or something ridiculous? I think I'd have to take a week off to read them and make sense of them. But then maybe that's why they've released them. You know, it looks good. Oh, look, finally transparency. But is it transparency? How many of us are actually going to read the buggers? Have you read them, Tim?
He wrote them.
only in the original Russian.
Oh, people.
We'll have to give him some international reviews of them.
Oh, bloody hell. There's nothing shocking in there.
Just to be clear what it is, Google tests their own algorithms. Oh. Google tests their own algorithms, and they hire people to basically go to different searches, and those people rate the search results. And this is basically the script they get. For example, they say what content is, what the main content is, what above the fold is, and those human quality controllers are looking at real search results or tests, or both, right? They test A/B testing, and then they say, well, this number B looks better than number A. In the past, Google did publish some search quality rating guidelines, but they were more or less a summary. And those people that do test the search results aren't Googlers. They are hired by third party. But it is interesting to see what Google thinks is quality and what is not quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gives you an idea on what Google is saying to them to look at on how to score a particular site for a particular query, and 99% of it makes sense. 99% of it, and they break everything down in the sense of, is this, like, for example, is this an e-commerce site? If it's selling a product to a person, is there, obviously, is it secure? Is there a contact page? Are there telephone numbers? Is there an address? Does this site make me feel confident in purchasing? It's just logical. And then they also say, right, so a normal standard informational blog, what is the content they're providing? Who is the audience? It's not like one criteria for all. They really break it down for what them to look in. So does this inspire confidence in me purchasing? They even go down as far as YAL sites, your money or your life. No, your oh God, I can't remember what they bloody called it.
Yeah. No, you're saying it correct. Your money or your life pages.
Yeah. So basically, those are like pages where they actually could have a financial or medical or health impact on a person based upon the information that is being provided. And how to even look at those pages and decide whether that is actually a good page or a bad one. And they go into it, and 99% of it is just common sense. You wouldn't have a shop on the high street where you didn't know who the owner was, it didn't have a telephone number. You wouldn't buy from them. You would just be like, whoa, like, where's my guarantee? Where's my safety? Like, you wouldn't buy from a bug that you're walking down the street that opens his jacket and like, hey, have a look at this, because you just wouldn't. There's no recourse. There's no. Do you know what I mean? So that's the same thing with websites. And unfortunately, for some weird reason, businesses don't take the real world business practice into their online properties. It's just the weirdest thing ever. I don't understand why they don't do it. But yeah, it's like they kind of seem to think like the internet is full of magical unicorns that just because I got a website, I'm going to sell millions of products and become a gazillionaire. But if I don't provide my name, my address, my customer complaints telephone number, customer service numbers, that all of a sudden I'm actually, I'm going to be trustworthy.
Maybe they see what they have to do in an offline world as pretty undesirable, and they see normality as being able to hide, which they do quite happily, or try to do quite happily online.
Yeah. One of my biggest bugbears was some of my hotel clients is like, well, can you tell me how much this room costs? Well, it varies. You've got to click through to the availability button, and depends on the day of the week. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, but why can't you tell me now on this page? Or tell me how much like my basic wedding package is going to cost? Oh no, because everything is bespoke. What do you mean everything's bespoke? So you basically mean then I've got to email you, then I've got to tell you how many people, what time of the year, blah, 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 blah. So it takes me 5 hours to just even get a ballpark cost. It's like, just please, just leave me alone, because I'm going to cry into my pink fluffy unicorn magical fairy dust for a bit. I just don't understand some people. And then you say like just stuff like, well, and this all relates it. So it's like, okay, we've had a couple of bad reviews this month. Here they are, and I think you should respond to them. Oh, no, idiots, don't know what they're talking about. I'm like, okay, fine, fair enough. From that point of view, in terms of a review sense, customers like to also look at a bad review and see how a business has dealt with it. So essentially, you're just ignoring it, okay? But then also, if you flip to this reviewer guideline, it also asks them to have a look around what is being said about this business or company, including reviews. So, do you see what I mean? It's the whole world thing. It's like, you're not going to have someone go to, let's say, like, forget the internet. If you were a normal business and someone made a and in those days, generally the complaint would be in the store, where you would generally deal with it there and there. You would apologize to them and then make some kind of thing. Or it might even go further, where they might take it to like local trading standards, where then it becomes a big thing and you've got to deal with it. But in the online world, it's like, they have no idea what they're talking about. And it's like, what, you know, I don't understand the disconnect between logical business practice and, yeah. Anyway. You got me started again. And the weirdest thing is then 3 months, 4 months later, then something comes out, or they read something somewhere else, except you mention it every 6 months to the client, and then they read something on some obscure, crappy little website about reviews, and they come running to you going, "Oh, we're best, ooh." And I'm like, hang on, I've been telling you that for 10 years now. But you went and read a Moz blog, and now you're freaking out. Okay. Yeah. Can somebody change the subject now? Because I'm just going to talk myself into trouble in a minute.
All right. By the way, Edwin, you just check the chat there. All right. Well, it looks like we've reached that time again. We've done it all for yet another week. If you're watching this, we thank you. Your interest in what we do makes what we do worthwhile. We'll be back at the same time next week to do it all again. Thank you very much.